Craig Barnell of Fisher's Finery, and we're going to be talking about the January 1st deadline for the cessation of prep services at Amazon Seller Central. Um, Amazon will no longer be processing your fulfillment if you do not meet the compliancy standards for packing and labeling of your product. Um, Craig will be talking about how Fisher's Finery has dealt with that in the past and actually is already is compliant and is able to provide some advice on how sellers like yourselves can meet compliancy as well as um, actually be more in terms of optimizing your own workflows.
100%, Ryan. It's when you read changes like that, you sometimes forget about the impact on what it means to individual sellers. I mean, the reason that Amazon does things like this kind of makes sense, right? We're all experiencing such tremendous difficulty with getting product in around peak periods. So anything Amazon can do to not have to touch product at the FC as they're trying to inbound obviously streamlines and makes things more efficient. The downside is if, as when we first started, if a seller is utilizing services by Amazon, whether it be bubble wrap, packaging, labeling, all those things that Amazon was offering as a service up until the beginning of the year, it's a pretty substantial change in your operational footprint. So when we looked at that service, it was quite some years ago, and we decided as we were getting larger in manufacturing with the 7 to 8 manufacturers in multiple countries, we would decide to take the operation of becoming compliant with the packaging and labeling requirements by Amazon and push it upstream. As it turns out, it was a great move because it allowed us to go outside of just Amazon FCs to Walmart and other fulfillment networks and not have to worry about bringing product into the U.S. and having it touched from a labeling or packaging requirement in the U.S. where labor rates are higher. So we do it upstream at the manufacturer level, developed pretty extensive standard operating policies, with video done in native languages for either Vietnam or for China or Pakistan. In that way, we're compliant before the product ever leaves. That's not true for everyone. And today, I'd like to address with you, Ryan, what we can do to help sellers adapt to this new environment.
Yeah, awesome. That just leads me into my next question on how Fisher's Finery has been able to use Inventory Optimizer to streamline their workflow, to maintain compliancy, as well as reduce costs.
Yeah, it's a great question, Ryan. So, as you and I are both aware, since we've been doing this with Inventory Optimizer for some number of years, when we decided to change our operational footprint, which at the beginning was to import products and then deconsolidate containers at a warehouse in the US and push product into Amazon and have the labeling done by Amazon, uh, we decided, let's push that segment of the requirement upstream to the manufacturing level. So once we got the SOPs and compliance, and we knew that the manufacturers could handle it, we had to take a look at what does that do for our flow of inventory. It was going to create a situation, or it did create a situation where it was taking a little bit longer for product to get from origin to the FCs. And so with using Inventory Optimizer, we were able to adjust our horizon. And the horizon, again, is the time it takes from issuing a PO to getting it landed at an FC. And since our product takes into that horizon, the amount of time it's going to take when you're doing your ordering, and then it takes the forward look using AI forecasting for demand and sales to cover the product needed in the future. Anytime you elongate your horizon, it's going to alter your order volumes to cover that additional time frame. Using a product like Inventory Optimizer, when changes like this come about, makes the transition very easy. The other thing that it did for us is it allowed us to be a little bit more nimble. So when Walmart came on the scene with Walmart Fulfillment Services, again, we were able to use our forecasting models to segment demand at Walmart and then begin to prepare the product labeled for them directly, sending it from point of origin or our manufacturers directly into their fulfillment network. So, it had multiple positive effects and lowered our cost.
No, it's great to hear. And I know this may be a lot of work for new sellers or existing sellers who have been using the process in which Amazon is packaging and labeling um, their their product. How can inventory optimizers team help from a managed services perspective in getting um, them up to the same standards that Fisher's Finery is using?
It's a great question, Ryan. So, as you know, we have a number of clients that we provide managed services for, consulting, whether it's hourly, weekly, or monthly engagement. And we stand ready, willing, and able to assist anyone who would like to onboard with Inventory Optimizer with those services. Our team inside Fisher's Finery, which is our sister company to Inventory Optimizer, has been doing this now for over 12 years, and our collective experience is, as sad as it is to say, coming up on 100 years between all of us. So we've been there, done it, and can get it done. The value add that perspective we can bring to the table is listening to what a potential customer's operational footprint is today, understanding what they're doing, why they're doing it, and literally ingesting their information and then bringing back to them what we believe to be best practices. And you may recall recently, Ryan, with one of the customers that we were working with, we actually ended up identifying savings of more than $20,000 a month by adapting different protocol and SOPs with their manufacturers, and then deconsolidating containers at warehouses closer to the port, then doing cross-docking and breaking the product, some going to AWD, some going to FBA, some going to their own warehouse, and then supporting other fulfillment networks. So uh, sorry about the long answer, but yeah, we're ready and willing to help.
Awesome. And I just wanted to thank everybody who's listened to us today. I hope you subscribe, comment below, like the video if there's anything here of value. And we look forward to speaking to you again soon on our next video. And our contact information is below if you ever want to reach out to Craig, myself, or our team. Thanks again.
Thanks again, Ryan.